Work in school buildings that don't have air conditioning, this is your week. Temperatures will be better, and it won't be as toasty there in the classrooms. Rob?
All right, Jennifer, thank you. I'm trying to figure out how Matt's is going to run current through this to the equivalent that would be needed to start your car. You said that's possible?
I'm saying we're gonna run maybe 100 amps through this thing, which at a pretty low voltage, so it wouldn't really, you couldn't plug it in your car or anything, but it's still a large current. Now, I can say that, and it's kind of boring, though, because how can you tell there's a current in there? So I just want to remind you of what you can do with a current. One of the simplest things you can do is make a magnet out of it, and here's just a little 6-volt battery you got at the hardware store, and I just wrapped a wire around a nail, and I'm just hooked that to the battery now, and you can pick up, little things with there, and then I unplug it, and the things fall off, and so you make an electromagnet, and the strength of an electromagnet has to do with the number of loops times the current. So here's maybe an amp of current and maybe 100 loops. Okay, and we could pick up a few paper clips. With this thing, we're going to pick up something a lot bigger in a second. So I'm going to clamp this thing in here so I can actually get a temperature difference going across this thing. Okay, put that there. I'm going to let this thing down, so one side of it is in the liquid nitrogen, which we know is pretty cold.
Yeah, minus 300, right?
Right. And the other side we're going to put this torch to.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so that's going to be pretty warm.
All right.
Okay, and while we're doing this, because this will just take a second to sort of get going,
okay.
I wanted to tell you about something else. These thermocouples can be used not only to turn heat into electricity, but you can go the other way around. You can get electricity and you can turn it into heat or cold. You can use that as a heat pump. And so you can actually, there's something called the Peltier effect where you can use this electric current to cool something up. And you've seen these things, little picnic coolers and things you can stick in your car that you plug into your your lighter or something like that. And the Seebeck effect is the other way around, where you get power from heat. And people are using that right now in satellites. So if you're sending a really deep space probe very, very far away, too far away from the sun for solar panels, you still have to get electricity to run your electronics. So they have like a nuclear, just a thing there that's hot, basically, radioactive stuff. And then what you do is you just put one of these gadgets around it, and you get electricity. So this thing should be going enough now that I can lift it out. Okay, so we have enough temperature difference now that we should be able to have this thing be a magnet. Now, you don't want to touch that because okay, so now that this thing is up.
Can't pull that apart. Don't burn yourself.
Okay, I'm not faking it. This thing is really stuck on there.
Your face is turning red.
Okay, so anyways, sorry, yeah, I'm not a good liar. So anyways, this thing is now, there's a very large current flowing. Maybe I can slide it out that way. There we go. So there's a very large current flowing right now in this piece of copper, and it has to be large because it's certainly a lot more than just picking up a few paper clips. Oops. Well, okay, so this thing, okay.
It's done now.
Yeah, well, this definitely holds the paper clips. Right. But it's large enough currents that you have a single loop and you still have something approaching, more magnetic sort of effect than you had with this little nail where you had 1 amp and maybe 100 loops. Here you have 1 loop, so you got to probably have something like 100 amps. So anyways, large current, and look for these things in the future. Right now, there's not a lot of these things being used to recover energy in cars and things like that, but people are working very hard, and if you kids are out there, you're looking for something to become a scientist and invent, people are working to increase the efficiency of devices like this so you can actually use them.
Very good. Great idea for the youngsters to research and focus on when they get a little bit older.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, Matt, thank you very much for being here. We always appreciate your experiments and your time. You want to see a replay of this segment, just go to our website, illinoishomepage.net. Look under the morning show, look under Wise Guy. You'll find all the fun we had here today and much more. Stay with us. We'll be right back.